Please.
Councilmember Crenshaw,
Present.
Councilmember Camarena,
Present.
Councilmember Marroquin,
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Elliott,
Present.
Mayor Carter.
Present.
We have a quorum.
Please join us in standing. Councilmember Marroquin is going to lead us in the flag salute.
Please join me in saluting the flag of our nations. Hand over your heart. Ready, begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing. Mayor Pro Tem Elliott is going to lead us in invocation.
Should we pray? Once again, our Father, we're so thankful for your kindness towards us. We thank you for the freedoms that we enjoy, often take for granted, the stability, the prosperity, the safety that we live in. And we don't want to take those things for granted. We ask for wisdom about all the issues confronting the city and how to deal with those in a right way. We pray that your will would be done. Your hand of blessing, we pray on this council and the city, this meeting. In Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Amen. To our city attorney, do we have any reports out of closed session?
Madam Mayor, there is no reportable action from the closed session today.
Thank you. Okay, I'm going to read the notice to the public. This is a public meeting. If there's any item on the agenda on which you wish to be heard, you are asked to complete a blue speaker slip, and submit it to the city clerk prior to the start of the meeting. Persons wishing to address the council are not required to identify themselves. However, this information assists the mayor by ensuring that all persons wishing to address the council are recognized, and also assist the city clerk in preparing the city council meeting minutes. When the item is announced and your name is called by the mayor, please step to the podium and state your name for the record. Unless the mayor extends the time, there is a 3-minute limit for each public presentation. If you wish to address the council's concerns at any other matter not appearing on the agenda, you may do so during the public comment portion of this agenda. However, you may not show a visual presentation without reviewing that other materials. If you do so, you will be considered out of order. Okay. Now we're going to move on to our proclamations. The first proclamation that we have is the National Public Work Week, May 18th through the 24th, 2025. Whereas public work professionals are responsible for rebuilding, improving, and protecting our water supply, water treatment, road maintenance, public building, and other structures and facilities excels for our residents. They provide service that impact our daily lives. Whereas this year's theme, People, Purpose, Presence, recognize the excel role of public works professional and contributing that make the community of El Centro and advancing the quality of life. And whereas public works professionals are engineers, managers, and employees at all levels of government and the private sector. The service they provide are vital of importance to suitable and religious communities. And whereas the mayor and the council members proudly recognize and thank our Public Works Department for their continued dedication, hard work, and commitment to the residents of El Centro. We are proud to have dedicated individuals who make a real difference. Now, therefore, I, Sonia Carter, Mayor, City of El Centro, State of California, do hereby proclaim May 18th through the 24th, 2025 as National Public Works Week in the City of El Centro.
Hi, good evening, honorable mayor and council members. Thank you. First of all, I want to say thank you for the council for recognizing this week. It started with APWA many years ago, and every year is a different theme. This year, as you have mentioned, is People, Purpose, and Presence. But the folks I really want to thank is really the staff that we have, our supervisors, our people, our employees, our supervisors, everyone, just from somebody with a shovel fixing a pothole to our custodians to all the way up through the ranks of supervisors and our engineers. Everybody plays a huge part of this. It's a big machine, plenty of gears all working together. And it's really the people. This year's theme is right on, is the people with a purpose and making that presence. Obviously, I'm making my presence today with my vest here. But it's the colors here of Public Works or flashing vest, orange, or this bright highlighter yellow that's used nowadays. Just want to make sure that I also recognize people that are here in the audience. We have Mike Reed, Rudy, Mike Reed, our facility maintenance supervisor, Rudy Nunez, our oh, where did he go? Over here. Our water treatment plant chief operator, and Rocio Relas, our staff assistants at Public Works, Francisco Martinez with facility maintenance, and Gabriel Martinez, our asset management coordinator. So there's sort of a few of the folks that were able to make it today. Of course, it's after hours for all of us. But I'm glad and thankful that they were able to make it here. This year, just not to take a little longer, we do want to highlight a video that was prepared by Emilio, and thank you, Emilio, for the video showing the people behind Public Works. It's about 10 minutes, but I'm sure I'm positive it'll go really quick.
Thank you.
I can start that video.
Public Works is a huge operation requiring dedicated staff to manage our budgets for a huge multi-million-dollar project, such as a police station or the southern pump station that will bring new growth to our city. Public Works is the people. The roads don't fix themselves, the cities don't build themselves, the water just doesn't magically happen. There's a lot of people behind it that you don't see. These are some of the stories of those individuals that maybe we can aspire to become and get into a career path, to be part of the city, to be part of our Public Works team, part of our growth, part of our sustaining of life.
What inspires me most about my job or working for the city is just it's fun. I love everything about it. I love assisting the people, helping out my community however I can, and I really always look forward to coming every morning, every day, all the time. There's a variety of skills that you need to learn in order to maintain a job like this, but the ones I would say are most important would be teamwork, communication, and dedication. With those three, you'll get by everywhere, and you only learn those things all throughout school. I take a lot of pride in everything I do, from helping out others to helping out my own city. I'm always there if I can, and I try my best to just keep the job going and finish that job and see it all the way through.
We ensure that the city keeps ready for every by fixing vehicles, whether it's from police cars to firefighters, vacuum trucks, backhoe, and on a daily basis. When other departments are working on their job sites and the equipment fails, we actually come in and assist the machine to go properly and for them to finish their job. Some misconceptions that people think about doing mechanics is that it's just simply replacing parts, when most of the time it's more than replacing parts. You have to diagnose and isolate what the problem is in order to fix or replace a part. I feel good about my job when I see the trucks they're running perfect, that they're making the tests easier for the other departments to use.
The most rewarding part about working in Public Works is having a direct impact on my community. So I live in El Centro, so I take a lot of pride in making sure that the upkeep and maintenance of the infrastructure is working properly, because it directly affects me and my neighbors. A big part of my job is maintaining the traffic lights, maintaining the striping, maintaining the street signage. So it just contributes to the everyday travel and transportation of all its citizens throughout the city. Anytime a member of the community comes up to me and expresses their appreciation for what I'm doing, whether I'm patching a pothole or I'm fixing a traffic light or repairing a sidewalk or whatever, and they come up and they're like, man, thank you so much, I appreciate it, but I've been waiting for this thing to get fixed, and I'm glad you guys are here. Anytime that happens, that's when I'm probably the most proud of what I do. Being an engineer always stood out to me because it directly impacts a community. It improves safety, efficiency, and overall quality of life for our residents. Working alongside a team of professional and capable individuals in our public works department and seeing how our combined efforts helps bring projects come to life, and knowing that these projects serve thousands of people every day fuels my passion for this field. Every project we undertake is aimed at making the city of El Centro more resilient, efficient, and sustainable. Whether it's upgrading roadways, water, wastewater infrastructure improvements, improving stormwater management, or enhancing pedestrian safety, our work ensures that the city grows while maintaining a high quality of life for its residents. My advice to young engineers is to stay curious, ask questions, and embrace challenges. The impact that you can make in public works goes beyond just designing or managing public works projects. You're shaping communities for generations to come.
Engaging with the public is very important, and there's certain strategies I like to use as either communication, active involvement, and just transferring the information and rules and regulations from the state. What I find most rewarding about being a part of this is really, I don't think about it much, but just every once in a while, I'll like open a facet in a Centro and just kind of realize, oh wait, like I'm a part of that. And that's an interesting thought to have. What I enjoy most about it is, I guess, just the variety of things you deal with. You never have a specific set schedule. You might do operations one day, and then you have to do maintenance on a pump for the next, and then you have to go out into the field to do sampling the day after that. It's really varied, so you don't get that sort of fatigue from the grind of doing the same thing. The skills and qualities that I think are most important to be a good operator would be problem solving and versatility, because you never know what you're going to deal with, and often you just have to, on the fly, make something work so that things can keep running smoothly. For anyone who might not realize how critical water is for daily life, they might not notice just how much time and effort goes into monitoring the water and its quality to make sure that we have it available for that, and that not only is it plentiful so that we can use it for all of our daily needs, but that it's also safe to use.
The impact that my job has on the community is quite significant, because if your water line breaks and you have no water in your home and you have a house full of children, you're going to panic, and if your sewer lines clog up, it's not something you want to deal with, and you're going to be glad when you see us come through the door, because we'll take care of it for you. And so the impact is quite significant. What I like about the career is that it's whatever you put into it, you're going to get back. So there are many levels that you can attain. There's 5 grades of certifications, plus, you can go on past 5 and be an engineer. And whatever you put into it, you will get a good career out of it. It's very enjoyable. Almost every call is an issue that needs to be resolved at the time we get the call. When there's no water, we never walk away from a home until we resolve the issue. So every call is important. And as far as big impacts with sewer lines, when we have clogged sewer lines, that can cause a lot of property damage, and it's a health and safety issue. If we don't get that line unclogged quickly with a raptor truck, it could affect numerous homes. It's always satisfying to be able to go in there. We know what we're doing. We go in as a team, and we walk away with everyone happy, because we won't leave until everything's resolved.
A lot of people don't think, oh, okay, the sewer goes there to the plant, it's taken care of, but they don't think where it goes after that. So it's our job to make sure it's safe for the environment and it's clean. That way you still see people fishing out in the canals with no worries. There's still aquatic life, there's fishes and everything. So it's basically from spreading diseases and just dumping toxic waste anywhere. So it is a biological process. So there's a lot of work behind it. We got to just clean the screens, the water, clean up the pumps. So there's a lot more that goes into it, and a lot of people don't know. I mean, we are there where people could just come and ask for information, but I mean, it's up to the public. We can't really just force it out there. With this kind of job in wastewater treatment, it does demand a lot of responsibilities.
You do need to be reliable. As a group, you are part of the public works team. They do depend on you. And so as a career like this, you do have to take it serious and kind of step it up a notch. Anyone can be a hard worker. You can show up on time. It's good. But if you're just there for the paycheck, then you're going to notice it's different. But if you actually like what you do, you're going to be there on time. You're going to exceed in your expectations in what you do. You're going to go above and beyond in what you do. And you're going to want to push that onto others. And which is good, because then people look up to you as like, hey, you know what? Arturo's doing really good. You know what? I want to be like him one day, or the stuff that he does, So it just feels good when someone asks you about what it is that you do.
Public Works is an incredibly rewarding place to be. Whether coming from a business background, engineering background, certificate program, or you're more hands-on, you can be part of what drives the city forward.
Even if you're not sure what you want to do, just don't stop looking for information. Just keep at it, don't give up. Eventually you'll find something. Some people find it right away, some people don't. But if not, it's okay. You will find your calling. And if wastewater is one of them, then we're here for you guys.
Learn from your current position in your life. If you're in school, learn how to listen to your teacher. If you're in sports, learn how to work as a team. Because all those tools that you get from that early age, you can use in adult life, and in particular in public works.
Always be willing to lend a helping hand to the people around you. Learn how to solve real-world problems and make an impact in your community. Your creativity, problem-solving, and passion will literally build the world of tomorrow.
I believe every small action, whether it's reducing waste, conserving water, planting trees, can have a positive ripple effect. And as long as we come together, we can amplify the impact.
Stay in school and be part of building the future of our community.
Pictures going on as that things are along. I just want to say how incredibly proud I am of this group of individuals. You see the passion and the love for what they do for this community, and I just want to say I'm incredibly proud of you. So, again, thank you.
Would you like to join us for a picture now?
Yes, please.
On behalf of the city council and myself, we salute you guys. Very remarkable. The video, it spoke a lot.
A lot.
A lot to what you actually put into your day-to-day service.
I think we're out of the picture.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. At this time, I will yield to my colleagues and see if they would like to say anything to our Public Works Department. We can start with Councilmember Matakin.
I'm really impressed with the video, and, kudos to Emilio for his fantastic work, but, it really does speak volumes in terms of what, all of your team has to deal with on a daily basis. It's like, the scenes where you had that water leak. I'm like, oh my gosh, you really were in the trenches, so, I just commend all of you and, so proud of all of your efforts and your hard work, your dedication, and, for keeping our city running smoothly, so that's ultimately the goal, so thank you.
Councilmember Crenshaw.
I've known some of you guys for many years, and I was completely blown away by the video. It was really well done and really highlighted your department nicely. So, one thing about being here for 26 years that I was here is that we really are a family. And like standard families, we all have a job or a task to do. And we're fortunate to have everyone has a little some skill set that we can use. And there's not one department more important than the other for the overall success of the city as a whole. So we have to come together, and this just really is a great illustration of your department, and it's perfect for this week, and I congratulate you and your department.
Thank you.
Councilmember Camarena.
I just want to say the video and the tour that I took, I mean, just opened my eyes as to how relevant you guys are for our city. It's not just coming here 7, 8 o'clock, leaving at 3 or 4. It's 24/7. And the demand when things happen on them is just as heavy as anyone else that's going out on emergency, like Councilwoman Marroquin stated about water breakage and sewer and so forth like that, because we want to be able to protect the residents, and yet they're right there doing all this work. And I don't think they get the credit that they deserve, because me going to the tour, especially the wastewater plant, and seeing how they are drying this up and making sure that none of these levels of different algae and poisons and so forth. And I told you and I told them I could never do your job. And so I'm very grateful for the whole staff. Maintenance, making sure things don't fall and hurt someone, that everything's in working condition. And I just want to say a big thank you to you, your staff. They are so competent and they're so appreciated. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Mayor Pro Tem Ellett.
Yes, great video. What I really liked was the attitudes, and just the outlook that these guys have coming and going to work for the city every day. I'm wondering where you're going to play this video.
So on that, I want to thank also, we haven't thanked enough here, Rocio, who I think just, oh, she is, for helping coordinate the video, and Emilio, together with Emilio. And the idea, so thank you for that, for all of that effort. And so the idea, as you probably noticed, is to encourage a new generation of public work professionals. A lot of it is tailored to individuals and schools. We'll be playing it tomorrow at our expo, which you were all invited, between 10 and 2 p.m. at the library. So we'll have different departments showcasing portions of their daily work out in the field, as well as for kids to go and look at the equipment. We have a couple classrooms already that have signed up to be around there around 9, 10 a.m. That will be available. So that would be a good time to show up if you can make it, so you can see the kids play with whatever we have available out there. So that's the intent. So we're probably going to be working with Emilio. Maybe we can chop it off into social media size bits. More to come on that. But that's the idea, to help encourage a new generation of individuals from all grade levels, so that they can come into public works and join the city.
Right. So the kids that'll see it tomorrow at the library, that's good. But you need a marketing manager.
Yes.
You need to push this out. Like career days at school,
Of course.
at schools, this would be excellent.
That's
I mean, it just gives you a really good sense about going to work someplace that you would want to work and learn and grow and advance. It's a great video.
Definitely will take it to career day.
Yeah.
Thank
Thank you.
that's why
Thank
we
you.
have a wonderful PIO person. Thank you, Mario, for all that you do.
Maybe even bring your daughter or son to work day. I don't know if
There
they've
you
done
go.
that, but I think
Yeah.
that's a lot of times they see mom and dad leave to work and they're like, what does mom and dad do? And sometimes that passion goes through generations. You never know,
Yes.
so.
Definitely. Thank you.
And I just personally thank you. As I put I was reminiscing looking at the video of when we went on our tour, put my hard hat on and we went out there and, I'm a driver, so me sitting in the passenger seat and going on these canal banks with, we were like, whoa. So just seeing all the hard work and dedication that's put into this and everything that everybody does, the video really, really spoke up a lot more than what people actually see. And we thank you. That video really is an enhancement to showing us everything that's done. And we really appreciate all of the hard work and dedication amongst all of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Give them one last round of applause. And I do want to backtrack for a minute. It was my mistake. I didn't say for Madam City Clerk if we have any public comments.
We have none, Mayor, none.
None online?
No, none.
Okay, thank you. So now we're going to move on for the proclamation for the Mental Health Awareness Month.
That will be Gabriela Jimenez, Assistant Director.
Hello, how are you?
Hi, I'm doing well. Thank you very much.
Wow,
thank you
thank
for
you.
for the invitation to come in and really acknowledge May as Mental Health Month. This means a lot also for us, in the mental health field, having leaders such as you and the rest of the council members setting this precedent and ensuring that this is acknowledged and working toward stigma reduction, which is so important for people that are living with substance use or mental health conditions. Thank you so much for that invitation.
Thank you for coming out. We appreciate that. I'm going to read the proclamation and then we'll get some comments from our colleagues. Okay, Mental Health Awareness Month, May 2025. Whereas mental health is essential to the overall health and well-being of every person. 1 in 5 adults and 1 in 6 youth in the United States experience a diagnosed mental health condition each year, and many more are affected by the stress, trauma, and emotional challenges that impact daily life. And whereas, despite advancing treatment, stigma and misunderstanding continue to prevent many individuals from seeking the help they need. Each year, individuals and organizations come together to raise awareness and advocate for better mental health care and resources. And whereas raising awareness, promoting education, and fostering open conversations are virtual to support mental health and its nutrients, more compassionate society where individuals feel empowered to seek help, leading to improved mental well-being. And whereas the mayor and council members encourage all residents to take action to protect your mental well-being and support those who may be struggling. Together, let's advocate for better policies and support for everyone. It's time to take action for the healthier future. Now, therefore, I, Sonia Carter, Mayor of City of El Centro, State of California, do hereby proclaim May 2025 as Mental Health Awareness Month in the City of El Centro. I guess you have something to say? Sorry.
Yes, once again, I wanted to take the opportunity to thank you all once again. It's so important to bring awareness to mental health. In the last few years, we've seen a lot of advancement in this area to where people are really becoming more aware of what mental health is and the importance of not only taking care of your physical health, but also of your mental health. And it starts, from the moment you're born and the moment you're in your mother's belly growing, and it's so important, and it's something so necessary to really embrace to ensure the health and wellness of a community. And like I said earlier, you as leaders of the community bringing this forward and setting that example really helps in bringing the awareness and reducing the stigma, because unfortunately there's still a lot of stigma associated with individuals with mental health conditions or substance use issues. And as a result of that stigma, a lot of times there's shame, there's concern, people don't seek help. And the importance of seeking help to address that condition is something that is so vital for individuals' well-being. And I want to take the opportunity also to thank the city of El Centro, because you have been a long partner of Imperial County Behavioral Health Services. I saw some familiar faces with Lieutenant Thompson, who's been a great loyal partner and has helped us so much and helped so many people in the community through his partnering with us and his understanding of mental health, and other law enforcement officers that are also here working very closely with our department and with treating individuals in the community. I just noticed, Public Works, Abraham, I think I've only met you through Zoom. He's also been partnering with us through our construction of our new adult residential facility for here. This is going to be the first residential facility for substance use treatment that we have here in Imperial County. We have this service out of the county, so we depend on contracts, in LA County or Riverside County, and it's something that we're bringing here to our community, and your Public Works has taken part in being part of this project, so that's great, and so thank you for that assistance. So from the bottom of my heart, I really appreciate this invitation, and we have Debbie Garcia here, who's going to talk a little bit about some of.
Yes, I just wanted to also thank you for the recognition today and for the invitation and the pleasure of being here with my assistant director. I wanted to just put in a little bit of a reminder to the community that we also have our Let's Talk About It Wellness Radio. So every week we have a special topic of information, either on mental health or any services or interventions, as well as any prevention of services for any substance use services. So please tune in at 88.7, which is one of our our sponsors for our radio show. And I am the co-host for the Spanish one, which is Exprésate. It's the Radio Bienestar. And that one is also featured on Wednesdays at 8 a.m. Also at the 88.7 radio show. So thank you again for your time and for the recognition and support.
Thank you. Would you ladies join us for a picture and to get your proclamation, please? Your plaque. You.
I didn't realize I was.
There you go. A little bit more. Thank you very much.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Good seeing you. Oh, no, you're fine. Thank you.
Always on Sunday mornings when I'm when I'm up and yeah, I turn the radio on. It's on KXO on the AM station. Yeah.
I would like at this time to yield to my colleagues to see if ladies, if you have another minute, just to see what the colleagues have to say to you. Just one more minute. No, that's fine, but I'm sure they would like to. We wore green our last meeting, and for Mental Health Awareness Month. So we could start the same order. Councilmember Marroquin.
I was just telling the ladies that, they mentioned the radio show, Let's Talk About It, the mental health and wellness radio show. I listen to it on Sunday mornings.
Oh, okay.
And they broadcast it on KXO, the AM station. I know a lot of people, I'm aging myself here, but but I do come across some really interesting topics that really catch my ear, and one of them is mental health awareness and it's not just adults. You would think it has a lot to do with teens and, what they're going through at school with their peers, with their families, and so on. And so lots of resources that they talk about, in these programs, that I listen to. So, I have to commend you. It's a service to the community because, many people don't know that you provide, those types of resources and, assistance to families that don't know where to turn. So, thank you for that.
Yeah.
Councilmember Crankshaw?
Yes, it's such a core issue in our community and in every community. It's a quality of life issue. And I think most of us go around daily because life goes so fast, kind of helpless. We'll see, and then we just keep going about our business. The impact that has on not just the homelessness that we see sometimes front and center, but families, as was mentioned, students and special learners, and even in the workplace, many organizations have adopted employee wellnesses, and for even if they're just short-term issues. So we really like to applaud you for the efforts that happens. It's been a great partnership here. One of the things working for the PD is that we always were concerned that everyone in the valley brought people here and then left them here. So, but with you being centralized here, it really has been great for us and great partnership. So thank you.
Thank you.
I just wanted to say I'm really happy to hear that you're building a facility here for substance abuse treatment. And I'm hoping that, I'm sure it will be able to do sort of like a wraparound service to involve the family, because I know with some of them that have been going out of town to like the Tarzana Treatment Center and so forth like that, it's difficult to have the family engage. So I'm very excited and to see that this is something that's going to be able to not just help the individual, but help the people that are trying to help the individual once they leave. And it's really difficult to see some of these people. I know when they're having episodes and so forth, and it's difficult to reach them, but to be able to see the department grow, and I know that you guys are doing outreach as well and so forth like that. So it just increases our possibility of being able to get them to engage and help them to get the treatment they need and to be self-sufficient, hopefully, which is the goal. I do want to say that when I was doing the ride along with El Centro PD, there was an individual that was having an episode, and the members of El Centro PD were very knowledgeable on how to handle him, and they assisted him, and I believe they went above and beyond. I'm not just saying that. They took a while, and their patience and the care that they showed this individual was evident, and that was a good outcome that happened. And I'm just grateful that you guys are here and that this is going to be built. And when is that anticipated on being done?
So we received $17.3 million through a grant. So the project has to be complete by June 30th, 2027. So we cannot go past that deadline because if not, then we would have to return funds. So we're working very hard to make sure that we meet those deadlines and all the requirements. We still haven't broken ground. Once we do, we will for sure be invited. But there's so many things that happen before we get to that point. But we're working as fast as we can.
Okay, thank you. Great job to everybody. Thank you.
Mayor Pro Tem Ellett?
Yes, so working in the ER for 18 years, we've had a lot of contact with mental workers there at the hospital, and it goes hand in hand. It's a monumental task to deal with all of this. So I just want to congratulate you and help that things go as best as we can do, reaching out to the public, getting people involved, destigmatizing things like this, and working with people to help them as much as we can. So thank you for that.
Thank you. And it's so important. And we've seen a lot of growth within our community and even schools being more involved in addressing mental health, it becoming something that is talked about more often in the school settings. Our programs, we work very closely with elementary schools from kinder all the way to high school and IBC as well. We have a strong partnership. But it's so important to keep talking about mental health and the importance of taking care of, you know, your emotional health, your mental health, your physical health, because it's all part of well-being. And the more we talk about it, the more we normalize that getting help for any type of mental health condition it's okay, and that there is recovery if you're dealing with any type of mental health, behavioral health issues, or substance use issues. The recovery is possible, and I think that that's the message that we should continue to really you know, tell people out there. And the more we talk about it as a community, the more normalized and people feel more comfortable and are not ashamed or concerned about what others will say about them if they seek help. Just talking with an agency earlier is how do we get, you know, individuals from certain occupations, you know, law enforcement or firefighters or people that are doing emergency care, where sometimes, you know, they are concerned that if they're dealing with their own mental health because of the work that they do, you know, you're exposed to so much that, you know, their fear is that, well, what if they don't think that I can do my job? So I'd rather not say anything. And so one of the things that we're seeing also for these organizations is that their leadership is really saying, no, we need to ensure that you take care of yourself, that you take care of your mental health, and that this is addressed and is no longer seen as, well, that makes you incapable of being able to do a good job. But it makes you a human being, and getting that help is necessary. So we are seeing a lot of growth in our community, and we're very happy to see that. And we're very happy to see the partnerships that have come along in the last, I would say, maybe 5-6 years, where we've seen the increase of the awareness. And this is another element of that.
One more question,
Yes,
Mayor, if I
yes.
could you just touch on veterans for a moment? I know that we're talking about young people and how more prevalent it is and all of that challenge as well, but we still have this veteran
Yes.
issue that's not, you know, still persisting.
Yes, you know, the veteran population is a population that it's difficult to engage, and it's because of the stigma, again, associated with that. And they're a population that are such a high risk of because of the severe PTSD that they're dealing with, and they're at such a high risk for suicide. And that is a population that we really do focus on trying to engage. And during the last, I would say 3-4 years, we've developed partnerships with local organizations that work very closely with the veteran population. One of them being Vets. Reps for Vets.
Reps for Vets.
They have been, you know, they're very well known here in the community because they have built a really good approach and bond with veterans in the community, and they have really worked hard towards normalizing getting help and receiving treatment. So an approach to that when we were dealing with struggling and getting that population engaged into treatment was to see if there were others that could help us in that engagement. And that has been a really good strategy for us, because we've been able to get more individuals engaged. But yes, you know, this is a population that does struggle, and it's a very high risk. And
yes.
Whenever we get a call of anyone that is in need, you can always give us a call, because whenever somebody is in dire need of services and they need to be expedited, we work very fast in ensuring that, you know, we expedite those services. Lieutenant Thompson was really good at doing that all the time, and getting people into the clinic and saying, hey, I need you guys to work with this person because, you know, they're at high risk. And we do that. We do that as best as we can, but whenever there is a need to expedite any type of service for anyone, whether it's a child or an adult, we ensure that
Thank
is
you.
done.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And I would just like to share, as many of you know, my day job is I work with children, and I've seen the growth of how the kids have gone from being uncomfortable to being comfortable with talking about their mental health issues. And I really commend the partnership that you have with the school districts, because that opens a whole nother door and a whole nother window for the kids, because at some age you lose them. They become embarrassed, they become bullied. Then it leads to suicide or attempt, you know, and we have to have that happy medium when it comes to children. We have to make them comfortable throughout their whole lives. And I appreciate everything that you guys are doing. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, now colleagues, we move on to our consent agendas. Items 3 through 6. May I have a motion and a second to adopt the consent items?
Yes, I will motion to approve.
I'll
Items.
second.
Thank you.
Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you. Now we have a public hearing. The public hearing regarding an ordinance extending the momentum of tobacco retail shops. This is going to be presented to us by Angel Hernandez, our Community Development Director.
Hi, good evening, Mayor, members of the council, those in attendance in the council chambers. The item before you is we're going to have a public hearing tonight and also have city council consider an ordinance extending the moratorium on tobacco retail shops. This is last brought before the city council on April 8th, 2025. And at that meeting, the city council adopted a urgency ordinance that established a 45-day moratorium from that day to prevent the opening and expansion of new tobacco retail shops. At that meeting, we had a public hearing, as I mentioned, and we had, I believe, one of the owners of one of tobacco retail shops attend. And what we're doing, and the origin genesis of this urgency ordinance was concerns from the community regarding several tobacco retail shops, some of like the nuisances, some of the negative secondary impacts that have arisen around the location, things like the illegal activity, calls for service, kind of deterioration of some of the buildings, the neighborhood area around some of them. And currently, well, aside from this ordinance, right now, tobacco retail shops, they're considered allowed by right in many of our commercial zones. And what that means is, as long as they have get the business license and the buildings up to code and all that stuff, the city is required to approve their business licenses. There's no special permit. There's no public hearings regarding them. And what that results is, theoretically, you could have increasing number of tobacco retail shops opening up in the area. I think a most pressing concern is kind of their concentration around certain parts of towns, especially in our downtown area. So the item before you is a urgency ordinance, and it would extend the moratorium another 10 months and 15 days up to April 7, 2026. And what that would do is provide staff time to look at the impacts and look at possible solutions from either specifying different zoning requirements, perhaps establishing some type of additional permit or regulatory authority over these tobacco retail shops. And in the meantime, the permitted tobacco retail shops are allowed currently. They will continue to be operating without any issue. But the urgency ordinance will continue to prohibit the opening or expansion of any new ones. And this ordinance would require a four-fifths vote of the city council. So some of the findings that were brought at the last public hearing before the city council, staff feels that tobacco retail shops constitute immediate threat to public health and safety and welfare. The reasons kind of brought before about the secondary negative impacts that are associated around several of them. Loitering, they become kind of an area of concentration of transient individuals residing around the area, and also because right now they're allowed by right, there's no way to kind of stop their control while we examine some of the impacts and some of the issues that, as we examine possible solutions to continue to allow them, but maybe develop some common sense resolutions. And the secondary finding was that the approval of new tobacco retail shops, as I mentioned, would kind of exacerbate the issues that we're currently having, and that the immediate adoption of this urgency ordinance is necessary to protect public health and safety. So staff recommends that the City Council open the public hearing, allowing input from the public, and proceed with adopting the ordinance before you. And assuming that the City Council adopts the ordinance that's before them, it would provide staff to look at the possible zoning or regulatory options to address community concerns. And staff will bring some of those options before the City Council at a later date before the expiration of the urgency ordinance. And also, there might be an additional option to continue the moratorium an additional year after that April 7th, April 7th, 2026 date, if we need more time. That concludes my presentation, and I'm available for any questions.
Thank you. We do have a blue slip.
Madam Mayor,
Peter.
you need to open the public hearing first.
Oh, I'm sorry. May I open the public hearing if there's anyone wishing to speak on this item? And we do have a blue slip. Mr. Peter Rodriguez.
Good evening, members of the council and members of the audience. I did review the agenda backup data yesterday. I do have a concern on the 4 photos that were taken. There's one that's a vape shop. It used to be across Albright. I've been inside that store twice. I've talked to the owner twice. He doesn't sell any tobacco. I don't know why photos were taken of his shop. This past Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I did walk around, rode my bike when I could in those areas that were the other photos. The ones down Main, even on Sunday, had a clean storefront. Monday, clean storefront. Today, clean storefront. I know the problem with the one across the methadone clinic where they all gather. I drove by there. And after, of course, no one's there because the clinic's closed. And I know why the problems are there, because of the methadone clinic. But I think it stretches the truth a lot when one store is taking a photo and targeted. It doesn't have any tobacco in it. Maybe just a city attorney is that correct?
This is intended to deal with all stores, and it may be that one store is in compliance now and would not be in compliance in the future. The purpose of this is to allow them to operate within certain parameters while the staff studies what should be done in an overall area. So this is not a statement about an individual store. It's a statement about the possible issues from that type of store.
Thank you for the clarification. But I do know the problem, really the biggest problem, is that methadone clinic. If there's a suggestion I can make, is maybe you should work with the county, and there's a building right between the jail and probation. It used to be the old CYA facility, where I think the methadone clinic should be considered to be moved. It's doesn't need to be downtown El Centro. The building's there, and you're gonna have to do some work, lobbying to make it happen. The building's there, and it's not a city problem, it's a county problem. They're a court order to go to the methadone clinic. You can ask their POs, parole officers, and get tested. So you have 2 options. I gave you a viable option. It's gonna take work, it's not gonna happen overnight. But it's up to you guys to lobby for that effort. Those are my comments, thank you.
Thank you. Madam City Clerk, do we have any online?
No, Madam Mayor, none.
Thank you. At this time, the public hearing is closed. I will bring it back to the council. Do you have any questions for Mr. Angel Hernandez, council?
I do. So obviously 45 days is just, it's a pretty short period of time to see if you could really get any documentation to determine if, having someone not come in at that time is having any type of impact. Listening to Mr. Rodriguez and going back to some of the backup support that the police had, there was several on Fifth, which is the one I think he's referring to, but there's several calls for service on Main and 2 or 3 different places. And then further out on Ross. So there was a couple, it kind of is sporadic, but it seems to be hitting all of them at different times. Even the vape shop was at least one call for service that was used as the backup for this. I've seen it firsthand in not just this jurisdiction, but other jurisdictions where it does become a loitering issue. And loitering issues manifest themselves into criminal activity. Not always, it's not but it's certainly an element to it. So my question is, do you think obviously a year, because we're going to want some documentation backup by police, fire, anything else you have showing, in that year's period that, we see a drop or reduction in those same areas would be my thought is kind of an objective look at it. Would we be doing something like that?
Since the ordinance would continue to allow the existing tobacco retail shops to continue operating, I don't really see how we would probably see a drop of it if they're continuing to operate.
Right.
I think the goal with this having a year is to look at specific aspects. For example, there may be some additional requirements that the tobacco retail shops would need to implement around discouraging loitering around the buildings. That could be kind of one of those regulatory issues that we might bring up. There might be some, just kind of throwing out there, some like setback issues regarding some sensitive uses too, or maybe some buffers between them. These are kind of some common things that I've seen other cities do. At this time, we haven't really studied them, particularly how they would affect the community in El Centro. But I think that's a goal. Kind of look at the specific aspects that we see from speaking with our police department, the what do you call it, the reports that you've seen.
Right.
And I was talking with the owners of these tobacco retail shops to see what makes sense. Like, I'm sure they have concerns too regarding the loitering around their businesses as well.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, welcome.
I do. Oh.
Yes, you can file it afterwards, yes.
On Main Street. I'd like to clarify some of those calls for service on Main were from me trying to get these addicts out of the alley.
Okay.
They aren't loitering at my place. We do not serve these customers. We do not sell tobacco products, any kind of tobacco delivery devices, electronic devices, anything of that sort. At the last meeting, there was a picture with the cover of my shop with my car out front. It was published in the IP Press online. They claimed us and pointed a finger at us, claiming us as one of the bad seeds. We have not had any customers come into our shop at all, period, since that has been published. I don't understand why our shop was lumped in with that when all it would have taken was a walk in the front door to see that we don't sell any of that. We don't cater to any of these people. We're doing everything we can to clean up the neighborhood. We don't allow any loitering. We don't allow any drug use in the alley. We clean up. Sorry, it just shakes me up. It bothers me to know that I'm putting in all this hard work just to be lumped in with the couple of bad seeds that everyone knows are out there. We know who the bad operators are. Why is everyone else getting lumped in with it? It's only, it's a swift move that can be taken. Leave everyone else out of it and take care of the bad seeds is all I'm asking you guys to do. So please, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Sir, I'm sorry, I didn't get where you were from. What?
My name's Daniel Lee. I own PC your glass shop on 541 Main Street. West
Okay,
Main.
thank you.
Do we have any other comments from the colleagues? No?
I
Okay.
I just want to say something. I understand the purpose of this urgency ordinance and so forth like that. And I do want to say that I'm going through Maine, which I go a lot to go and look and so forth of what's going on. I just want to make a note that with the, on my personal observation, when it comes to like the deluxe place, I've not seen any type of those incidents there. I understand they are downtown. I understand what the gentleman that was here was saying, and I understand the ordinance. But I do want to make sure that we are targeting the correct individuals as we go forward with this. And I know it's important to make sure that the downtown area is addressed. I'm all for that. But I also want to make sure that due diligence is given to where it needs to be. That's all. Thank you.
Excuse me?
I said duly noted.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, council, may I have a motion and a second to adopt this ordinance number 25-03?
I make a motion to adopt this ordinance as written.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you. Now we're going to move on to our new business. The RCAC presentation is the Water Sewer Project Crossroad and Villa Avenue. This presentation will be by Abraham Campos.
Hi, so my name is in the presentation, but really I do want to introduce Evelyn Renian and Itzel Vasquez Rodriguez, who are from RCAC. They're working on a project in one of our neighboring communities and how they can assist and bring water and sewer to that community. So with that, I'll introduce both Evelyn Renian and Itzel Vasquez.
Good evening, Mayor Carter and members of the City Council and all gathered here today. Thank
Good
you for
evening.
thank you for giving us the opportunity to speak with you guys today. We'll be presenting information on a water and sewer project taking place in the Crossroad and Villa Avenue neighborhood on the northwest outskirts of the city, just outside the city of El Centro limits. A place in which there's some drinking water safety and access concerns, as well as aging and collapsing septic systems. So we'll just start by introducing ourselves. My name is Abilene Runyon. I'm a project manager at RCAC, which is the Rural Community Assistance Corporation. I'm a co-lead with Itzel on this project, and I have a background in natural resource conservation and sustainability, and I'm based in Los Angeles.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Itzel Vasquez Rodriguez. I'm a project manager at RCAC and one of the co-leads with Abilene on this project. I have about 10 years of experience in the water industry, and I'm based in Long Beach. Okay, so before we talk about the project, I just wanted to briefly introduce our organization for those who might not be familiar with us. RCAC is a nonprofit technical assistance provider, and we serve the 13 Western states and US territories, so you can see on the left-hand side of the slide. And we're part of a national partnership, which is what you're seeing on the slide here. RCAC assists rural and indigenous communities achieve their vision and well-being through technical assistance, training, financial resources, and advocacy. And so in this instance, RCAC is here to assist with drinking water and wastewater systems to help make them sustainable and ensure that they are in compliance with state and federal regulations. There we go. So RCAC runs a number of other programs whose titles are on the screen here. And I'd like to highlight 2 additional services that might be of interest to the city. Just really quickly, under our lending opportunities, RCAC operates a loan fund that can help fill financing gaps. We offer loans for things like affordable housing development, environmental infrastructure, and small businesses in rural locations. And then under our classroom and online training point, RCAC provides free trainings for water and wastewater system operators so that they can keep their licenses active. And those are offered free of charge, and they are offered in person or virtually. And so now I'll pass it back to Abilene to talk about the project.
Yeah, just to talk about the background of the project and kind of just locate us geographically. The Crossroad and Villa Avenue community is located along the northern edge of the city of El Centro. It's a census designated block at the corners of Crossroad and Villa Ave. It's in unincorporated Imperial County. There's 30 residential parcels, three vacant lots and 3 vacant homes with about 126 residents. The project that we're going to be discussing today serves the 30 residential parcels that are on septic systems and receive non-potable and untreated canal water from the Imperial Irrigation District. And these residents are receiving potable water or purchasing potable water through vendors that have been authorized by the county. And the median household income, which is that MHI, is $28,478 per a 2023 income survey. So it's a disadvantaged community. Yeah, this is just to zoom us in a little bit further. So the project area is covered in blue on that slide, and the city of El Centro is that dashed red line, the city of El Centro boundaries. So as you can see, it's right along kind of the outskirts, and it's within the city of El Centro sphere of influence.
So the Crossroad and Villa Avenue community receives non-potable and untreated canal water from the Imperial Irrigation District, IID. And according to the Safe Drinking Water Act, this canal water should not be used for drinking or for cooking. And per the State Water Board and the US EPA, they advise against using this untreated canal water for food prep, for making ice, for cleaning wounds, and even for brushing your teeth. And so residents in the area have also experienced skin rashes after bathing in this water. And in addition to that, raw water sometimes leaks from blockages in private canals, which you can see on the photo on the screen here. And so sometimes these blockages can lead raw water to leak onto city limits in the area. And in addition, residents have also temporarily abandoned some properties in the area because of the lack of water that is being delivered to those lots. And as a result, some of those vacant properties have been vandalized because they are abandoned. And so that's something that has happened recently. And on the wastewater side, residents are on aging, failing, and collapsing septic systems. And some septic systems in the area have violated county standards. Okay, so earlier this year, staff from RCAC took a site visit back in March to the project area. We took a series of pictures, some of which you can see on the screen here. And so we saw for ourselves some of the abandoned and failed water infrastructure and some of the abandoned buildings due to a lack of water supply. And so we bring these pictures here to also highlight the fact that this project is an important one, not only for RCAC, but for the water boards. And so the water boards has funded technical assistance for this community that Abilene will now touch on.
Yeah. So we're bringing this item here today in 2025, but this project has been ongoing for a number of years. RCAC has been aware of the drinking water and septic concerns in the Crossroad and Villa Ave community for a number of years. In August of 2022, the project was referred to RCAC by the State Water Resource Control Board. And so our first step was doing an outreach report for the Crossroad Villa Ave community. The goal was to determine residents' level of interest in consolidation with the city of El Centro's water and sewer system. That included survey, mail and online, and a public meeting in June 2023. And of the people who responded, 87% were interested in consolidation with the city's water and sewer services. So that took place in mid 2023. And then towards the end of 2023, as a part of the process to determine eligibility for state funding programs, the community needed to establish their median household income for the service area. So RCAC completed a median household income survey, including door-to-door survey outreach, and determined the MHI to be around $28,000 per year. So all of this technical assistance has been funded by SAFER, which is the Safe and Affordable Fund for Equity and Resilience. This is the same program currently funding our work and funding us being able to be here today. And this program is designed by the State Water Resource Control Board to fund technical assistance for small water systems in need. We're here today because we will be requesting support from the city and city council in the future of this project as the lead applicant on state revolving fund construction applications. And we want to explain what that will look like and what the next steps for that will be. So this is a very high level overview and timeline for the drinking water, which is that DW, and clean water, meaning sewer services, state revolving fund. So that's the SRF project and funding process, and a corresponding timeline. So we want to clarify that there is one project for drinking water and one project for sewer services. RCAC is managing both of those projects, and they will be completed in parallel. And our current step will be ongoing for about the next 18 to 24 months for both of those projects. Yeah, that's that step right there. And so we're completing these projects kind of in parallel to remain efficient and try to streamline it as much as possible. So yeah, as I mentioned previously, 2023, we had initial outreach and a median household income survey. And after determining interest and receiving direction to continue with the planning process, RCAC subcontracted NV5 Engineering to complete the engineering design and full planning for both the drinking water and sewer system consolidation with the city of El Centro. So that's the current step, that second arrow there, where we are currently. So under RCAC's technical assistance work plan, we have the funds available to fund both septic or sewer services and drinking water applications and full application packages and engineering design. So all of this planning and design work is at no cost to El Centro. So upon completion of the engineering design and planning and the necessary application packages, the application will be submitted to the State Water Resource Control Board, and review of the applications can take between 9 to 18 months. And so that's when the project will shift to being about financing the construction of both of those infrastructure projects to take place. So that's what we're applying for the SRF construction application. We're hoping if the city decides to support as the lead applicant, then they would be, the construction would be managed by the city of El Centro. And during this period, the details of the financing will be determined between the city and the State Water Board. Staff time, including Angel and Abraham, who have been in assistance to us, can be reimbursed. And the grant for this project will be provided on a reimbursement basis to the city, and RCAC can provide bridge loans to help that financing gap if necessary at that time. And the goal for the construction project will be a fully grant funded and at no cost to El Centro ratepayers. Eventually, post-construction, the goal is for the community's residents to have access to safe drinking water and wastewater services.
All right. So as you all have just heard, there's been a considerable amount of time and resources invested in these projects, and these projects will continue to take many years. And so we're also thankful for city staff and community participation that we've had on the projects up to this point. And we again want to emphasize that the Crossroad and Via Avenue community is interested in obtaining drinking water and sewer services from the city of El Centro. And so we're presenting information on these projects today because we will be coming before this council in the future for support officially on the project. And so I do want to highlight for the council today that the completion of this project would benefit the city in many ways. For instance, the city of El Centro can receive incentives or additional funding to help with capital improvement needs from this grant process. There's also an increased customer base for the city as a result of this project, which means that there could be more revenue for the system overall. This project would also ensure that there's reliable drinking water and wastewater for a community in need, and it can help the state of California advance the human right to water. This project would also reduce potential failures of septic systems in the area, such as some of the photos that we showed earlier in our slides. And not only that, this project could also increase property value in the community and increase community value and pride and investment in the area. And there may be less abandoned or vacant lots due to the lack of water. And then also just want to highlight here that this area, the Crossroad and Villa Avenue community, is in the City of El Centro's sphere of influence. And this project could very well align with the city's strategic plan, Goal 1, Action 1.5, which states, explore the creation of assessment districts to provide utility services to areas lacking city water, wastewater, or stormwater service or infrastructure. Okay, so that brings me to this slide here. What would the city council's involvement look like? So should the city council decide to support this project officially at some point in the future, there are some instances where the council's involvement will be important, and we're hoping the council would be supportive. So the city, as Abilene mentioned earlier, would ideally be the lead applicant for this project because state water board funding requires that a public water system or a receiving system be the lead applicant, which in this case would be the City of El Centro. And then also, there are some pieces or attachments in the applications that may require the city to pass a resolution. And so there are a couple of different options to consider when deciding how to best serve the Crossroad and Villa Avenue community, including things like annexation or extraterritorial service agreements with the city. And these would require more coordination with the city council and also potentially with LAFCO. And so we'd hope that you would be supportive at that time. So again, we're bringing this project information to the council today so we can hopefully get your support on these project items in the future, not asking for any vote today. And so I just want to highlight as well that if any members of the council or folks involved in the city are interested in hearing more about this project, we do host monthly project meetings online, first Thursdays of the month from 1 to 2 p.m. on Microsoft Teams. And we can also add folks to our email list to hear more updates about the project.
Yeah, just to close us off, just on kind of our upcoming events, our next steps, the engineering will be starting their work plan. Currently is beginning their engineering work here. And our next time we will be in the city of El Centro is on June 30th for a community meeting, which will be held here in the city council chambers at 4:30 p.m. Our CAC and NV5 engineering will be co-leading this meeting. And the goal is to inform the public and any interested folks or city staff on the details of the project, timeline, fundability, and outcomes. One of our goals to remain as transparent as possible throughout the entire process of the projects. The presentation on June 30th will be held in a hybrid format, Zoom and in person, and will be held in English and Spanish with licensed interpreters to promote equity and language access in the community. As Itzel mentioned, we have monthly meetings first Thursday, 1 to 2 on Microsoft Teams for any interested folks who want to stay up to date. Itzel can be contacted. I can also be contacted. My slide is, my information's on, I think, the second slide, via email or phone at any time with any questions on this project. English or Spanish for both of us. So we want to thank Mayor Carter and the city council members once again for listening to us today, allowing us to share the details for this project, and we look forward to continuing to work with you guys to bring this project to fruition in the future. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ladies, for such a detailed presentation. We appreciate that. Thank you. And thank you to Abraham and Angel for partnering with them and getting the information to us. We appreciate that as well. Thank you.
My Mayor, questions before they leave?
You have a question for us?
Yeah, I do. Just this money from the water board, the California Water Board, I mean, is that secure? Is it already set aside? It's allocated? Is it safe? Our budget? I'm just curious if you have heard anything about the future.
Yeah, the money at this time for the construction funding application is not put aside or earmarked for these projects. That's all subject to once the applications are submitted, and it'll be decided by the state revolving fund review, kind of what the details of that funding looks like. So nothing is guaranteed at this time. But again, all of the planning for that will be at no cost of El Centro for all of the applications and engineering design. But what we've heard from our contacts at the State Water Board is that there's high support for this project. They're aware of it kind of up the line, and they seem very highly interested in pushing it forward. So that's what we can say at this point.
So with the new budget coming out, this is still evidently going to be supported then by California, the state.
It seems so.
Great. Thank you.
Thank
I have a
you.
question just for myself clarification. So, and maybe Abraham, you can help too. So is this area in the city of El Centro, or is this city of El Centro property?
No. You just want to clarify?
So that's why you continue to say the sphere of.
Yeah, so
influence.
just
Sphere of
for,
influence.
Yes.
I guess, definitions, we have our city limits
Mhm.
and then a sphere of influence, which is outside of the city limits. And the sphere of influence is for planning purposes, for potential growth areas in El Centro, and areas that we expect to serve in the future as they get annexed. For the most part, and all of the annexations that happen to El Centro are within the sphere of influence. That's how annexations happen. We start planning ahead of it, right? So this area fronts our northern limits. So you can see the red line in the exhibit, that's our northern city limit, and the blue shaded area is outside, it's in the county. So this area is a county, it's under county jurisdiction. Another applicant could be the county of Imperial, but since we're the water provider and that we're looking, it makes more sense for the city of Central to be the applicant. We're looking for more as a extra territorial agreement as opposed to annexation. The project is, as was mentioned, it's a long process. It requires right-of-way dedications for the utilities, for the alignments of water lines, pipelines, potential roadways to service that. So there's a lot that needs to happen. Potentially right-of-way property acquisitions and all of that process that might entail. Hopefully not eminent domain, but that's possible as well to be able to do that. So it's a lengthy process. We're barely in the engineering phase where they're helping. They're managing the engineering side. Once that engineering is completed, we'll get a better idea of what it will take to actually build the water system and sewer infrastructure that's needed to connect those.
So, but there is a long-term plan to have that area annexed into the city?
It's not our call, is we're not searching to annex it. The area lacks quite a bit of infrastructure. Oh.
He's like, let me through.
Man with the plan.
There we go. Thank you. So, as the staff from our CAC mentioned, there's kind of two options that we looked at. One is annexing these areas, and the other option that we're exploring and favoring is having some type of extraterritorial service agreement with between the city and these properties. This is something that has been done pretty frequently in other cities in Imperial County. I think most recently it was brought up to LAFCO for some properties in around the area of Holtville. And yeah, it's outside the city limits, but it's within our sphere of influence. And in this area, if you could imagine kind of that red line and the area all the way to the north, there's a central drain that kind of separates the city of Imperial from the city of Centro. That's basically our kind of planning area. As Abraham mentioned, there's no specific application to annex these areas at this time. From that community, the preliminary kind of community engagement that the RCAC performed, and back in 2022, there was kind of some apprehensions regarding annexing, regarding kind of the zoning compatibility issues, and there's also kind of, I mean, aside from just the water and sewer, there's a lot of kind of improvements that would need to be done to kind of go up to city standards. So that's kind of some of the issues that we're kind of favoring having that extraterritorial agreement, not annexing them, but kind of having that agreement to provide water and sewer services.
To them.
Yes.
Oh, okay. And so then that's at no cost to the city. This is at no cost to the city.
Correct. It's my understanding
Yes.
that the project is working on that too.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you all. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now we're going to move on to the discussion and related action regarding scholarships for discount youth swim lessons and free public swim admission, presented by Rebecca Korfman, Aquatic Supervisor, and Adriana Nava, Community Service Director. Did I say that? Yeah.
Yes. Hello, Honorable Mayor and Council. We wanted to take this opportunity, this item before you It's been a labor of love for Rebecca. We've been doing a similar program, but we hadn't formalized it. So it's a great opportunity to introduce the council to of some of the operations at the facility. We've now been in operation for 5 years. And year after year, we've been working on increasing revenues. So that's something when the facility was built, it was wonderful. We're like, okay, so now we have to open for business. And how we go about that and the grant sources we've been seeking, it's a very expensive facility to maintain. So as we moved forward with our operations, just last year, Rebecca was able to achieve $300,000 in terms of revenue. And obviously it doesn't pay for the facility, but we're making strides towards that. And so she's going to go in detail over the facility and also the proposed resolutions that we have before you, which we're very excited about for this upcoming summer. Wait, I have to share one more thing because I have to show off about this. Rebecca is the best in the business. She has been a lifeguard with the city since the age of 16. She's also a lifeguard instructor, a water safety instructor, and a water safety instructor trainer. So she trains the trainers. And so Rebecca is a true boss. And I wanted to make sure, share that with you because we don't have a facility nearby like it. The Aquatic Center is, you know, its own kind here in the Imperial Valley and even in Yuma.
Yes, thank you. And thank you, Rebecca, for all that you do.
Again, thank you, council. Good evening, council, mayor, and council. I know there is quite a bit of new council here, so I want to take this time really briefly just to go over the Aquatic Center and introduce my staff. So again, my name's Rebecca. I know it's on there as Korfman. I only changed my last name. I am the supervisor for the Aquatic Center, and then I have a coordinator, Angel, my staff assistant, Bianca, and then 2 assistant coordinators who, again, this facility can't run without the team as a whole. But these people play a key role in the everyday operations, and 2 of them aren't pictured, but we have Roman, who's our full-time custodial, and Christian, who is our full-time maintenance tech. And a lot of people look at our facility, and we are 4 facilities in one because there's 4 pools. We have the lazy river, our activity pool, our warm-up instructional pool, and then our large competition pool. Each has its own system, each has its own maintenance requirements and everything. So from outside looking in for other pool maintenance techs in other cities, they're like, you have 4 facilities in one, and one guy to run it all. And really making sure the water chemistry is, so he's like the true hero behind it all. And we really couldn't do much without the whole team. Every summer I go into, our mission stays the same at the Aquatic Center. But every summer I look into creating a new vision, really making a buy-in program for our staff that we hire. You know, lifeguards, they're always, you know, you're really young and their first time job for a lot of kids and young adults. And I just want to create a facility where they know that they're creating an impact. They know that what they're doing is lasting lifelong skills for children and even adults, because we don't serve just kids. You know, people think of the water for just kids, but we serve everyone. And this year's vision, and kind of like our slogan and tagline that we have going on, is creating impact one splash at a time. So everyone that walks through that door, we want to make sure that the impact that we're creating, the impact that we're having on them is positive, is going to last with them a lifetime. And I tell these young adults, that these people remember you forever. They're going to see, even if you forget them, they're going to remember you. You were my swim instructor. You were my swim coach. You were the person that helped me at the front. You helped me get registered. You taught me how to swim. You helped me get rid of my fear of the water. And so I really wanted to instill that this summer. Again, with our operations, our summer season is only a week away, less than a week away. And so again, this summer we have a large staff, 60 lifeguards, which is double from when we started in 2019 when the facility opened. So that's a true testament of how well the facility is doing, the demand for our facility, the demand for our programs, and just the demand for water safety overall. We have 3 customer service reps that serve in the front, 2 assistant coordinators, and then again, the 5 full-time employees. So in retrospect, you have about 67, almost 68 employees for a large facility when we are considered almost a water park, and water parks are generally around to 100 and 150 employees. So under state California, we are considered a water park because our lazy river propels people forward. So
Yes.
it's a different type of engineering and different certifications that our lifeguards have to have, unlike any other pool here in the county. We're open 7 days a week. We have a wide range of programming for, again, all ages, activities, events, public swim. And it's not just for El Centro residents. We serve everyone in the county, everyone in the county. We went as far as Nyland this year, and as north as Nyland and as west as, or south, sorry, as Calexico. So we have 32 school groups that have been coming in. And they started on May 12th and they end on June 6th for our school field trips. They're end of the year after state testing pool parties that we serve. And just through those 32 school groups alone, we'll reach 2,800 kids that have visited the facility and because they've been able to swim. And it's really putting the training to these lifeguards to the test, especially with our new green staff. So it's good training before the craziness of summer happens. Our daily schedule, again, 7 days a week, Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays during the summer are reserved for all of our programming. So there's no public swim on those days. Those days are targeted for lap swim, swim lessons, our summer swim team practice time, swim meets that are held at the facility as well, junior lifeguard camp, private lessons, all the special populations that we serve in between the day as well. And then Thursday through Sunday, those are times that is open to the public. Our public hours, Thursday through Saturday, are 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. and Sundays 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. And again, that's all public pools. You have access to the lazy river, you have access to the activity splash pool, instructional and competition pool. And then every second and fourth Saturday of the month, we transition public swim on to 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. to give people, a bit more time after the sun starts to set to really cool off. And just listening to the input from our patrons and our users, there's like, yeah, I want to have a party here, but I don't want to be here at 2 o'clock. So just really listening to the input. And then during those times too, that's when we offer our movie nights. So just to offer a little bit something different for the families, for the kids that are there, even for the adults. Not all of our movies are generated toward kids and families. So we got to give the adults something too. Every month we release calendars that are detailed in all of our programming and facility hours and any updates that might be coming up with facility rentals. We do offer private rentals for the facility. Those all have to be made 1 month in advance before we get that calendar out. So that way the public knows if there's any changes during public swim hours. Our special populations, like I mentioned before, that is where we serve local agencies, school age groups, mainly summer school kids, ELOP programs, ARC programs, homeschool groups, church groups, daycare centers, anything that you can think of. We're working with the city of Brawley this year. Unfortunately, they're still having ongoing issues with their pool. And so we're happy to, create that lending hand and partner with them and being able to get their kids to come over and learn to swim at our facility, and then also have their residents come over as well and enjoy public swim time. And so ICTC has also given them a shuttle to help with transportation over here as well. We work with the County Office of Education, Behavioral Health, San Diego Regional Center. We have a therapy office that offers aqua therapy. The IVC will do their PE classes there for their swim PE class. Border Patrol and the County Sheriff's Department also hold trainings there for their staff. And other members looking to promote within their agency. And of course, we also serve our own El Centro day camps and other groups as well. And just within these special populations, from May to September, we are projecting to serve just under 10,000 people. So that's in total for the whole 20-week program. Like I mentioned before, we have all these fun events coming up for the summer between May and September. Our summer movie series, that was something we had last year. I stole the idea from Palm Desert. They offered it, and I was like, I like it, I'm gonna take it. And so every month we're featuring a different movie. We have one next Friday with Moana 2, so we have a Hawaiian luau night. Food vendors will be there. It is $5 admission, with the summer kickoff pool party, which we've hosted since the grand opening of the facility, really to kind of kickstart the facilities opening again after we were shut down with the COVID pandemic. And that's again free to the public from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. And we will be showing Despicable Me 4 as well. So that's all free. We have our annual 4th of July All-American Splash Bash. That's become a favorite amongst the community. We offer it during the day. So that way it also gives staff the time to go home and, you know, continue on with their 4th of July traditions with their families, friends. And then we still return back Friday morning or since 4th of July is Friday this year, we still are open up the next day. So it still gives time for staff to recoup and continue working. Again, 4th of July is free to the public. Invite you all to come out. It's a fun, I know it's hot, but it's a fun day. We started a new tradition of a cannonball contest. And so the people have really liked that. Adults go crazy over it as well. And so it's really fun to see. We host a multitude of summer swim league meets. We're actually hosting all invitationals this year for Hopeville and Brawley. And then there's one more invitational in Yuma. And then we're also hosting the championship meet this summer, which hasn't been done in the Valley, oh gosh, for quite some time. The championship meet is predominantly held in Yuma. And I approached the league board and having the opportunity of hosting it here because, let me see, 1, 2, 3. So 6 out of the 8 teams are predominantly Imperial Valley teams. And just by having that ability to alternate between Yuma and El Centro for a local championship meet is something that parents want, and it gives, you know, a nice welcome to the facility as well, really highlighting that facility for the competitive spirit that it's also intended to have. That league also has a total probably just under 500 swimmers. So this year was our first day for our summer swim league. Our team is the Wave Runners. We're just at 100 registrations for that. So we have 100 kids on our team and still accepting some registrations. And then that gets us into our revenues and our grants. Like Adriana had mentioned before, 2024 was a huge year for us. We just hit that 300,000 mark. And in retrospect to how demanding this facility is in terms of funding, I'm still very proud of that number that has come in terms of what we can do for the community, what we can offer, and between everything for birthday parties, all kinds of things that you can do there, it's going on. And currently for 2025, up until April, we're already at the 180,000 mark. And then the month of May is continuing to be promising so that we were going to surpass that 300,000 mark for the year of 2025. And then as in my time as supervisor from being hired in 2019 until 2024, I've been lucky enough at keeping the city of El Centro competitive to receive these grants through aquatic programming and everything else that we offer. And in total, I've been able to receive a total of $260,000 in terms of scholarship funding, grant funding, and donations throughout local organization groups as well. With IID, we started off getting 3,000, and then that got popular, and IID has now given us 5,000, and we're anticipate to receive that 5,000 again pretty soon. The LA 84 Foundation is a grant foundation that is established in memoriam of the LA 84 Olympics. And it's something that they have kept going to help promote youth sports and, more importantly, the female population in sports as well, and promote that. Every year, my request for that funding gets more and more, and the LA 84 is one of the few grants that also supplies funding for lifeguard personnel for payroll purposes. And so this year, we've been fortunate enough to keep that going again. And this is the 3rd year now we're able to receive just about 42,000 for payroll purposes, and then 17,500 for scholarships for the Learn to Swim program. The American Red Cross Centennial Campaign, we are one of the first original cities to be a part of that campaign back in 2013. And it's always exciting to hear us be recognized with the Red Cross nationally. Our lifeguard camp program has been recognized amongst the nation, and we have been used as an example for anyone else that's for municipal pools wanting to start a junior lifeguarding program. And I'm proud to say that that was one of the projects that I took under my time to really grow, as the junior lifeguard program has now become a feeder program for us, and we've hired This was the first summer where we have seen that program come full circle, and we've actually hired junior lifeguards, are now lifeguards this summer. So it's I get goosebumps just talking
Amazing,
about it. So it's
huh?
really,
Yes.
it's awesome to see. We have the El Centro Kiwanis group that always donates money, Friends of El Centro, and any other funding that I can get, I'm always on the lookout for. Because again, this facility is large and it takes a lot. And we also know that learning to swim teams predominantly caters to one demographic. And my goal is to make that available to all, no matter age, no matter ability, no matter your socioeconomic economic status. So that's been a big goal of mine. And then getting into that, this is where we're going to introduce our summer free admission program. Our goal for this is to provide equitable access for El Centro youth 17 and under during our summer season. That summer season's Memorial Day to Labor Day, and there will be an application process with this. Like I said, we've received grant funding before. We've just never had guidelines on how to give this money away or how to, make it accessible for residents. We've usually just done like random free swim days. Anyone that comes in is free. Swim lessons, as long as you register under a certain level, you're able to get it free. If your kid is between 7 and 17, you get it free, so on and so forth. But now we're actually establishing an application program and criteria to really make sure that this funding is going towards the families that are in absolute need of it. Once the application is reviewed, it will be available online and in person at the Aquatic Center. And once approved, the youth will receive 14 free admissions that they'll be able to use throughout the summer season. Like I said earlier, we have this criteria. With El Centro residency, they'll be able to prove through a city water bill, or even if they're not a resident, but they have their child enrolled in the El Centro Elementary School District or a Central Union High School District, we still consider them as a resident since they're bringing their services here and their children are involved in our community, through another avenue. And then the three criteria that we have where I feel that's pretty equitable amongst all, and we use that criteria based on the 2025 California state income limits. And so the criteria that you see there is what is used amongst the state, and then the income level is what's based off of for the city of El Centro. So anything 52,600 at or below, that is considered our 80% area medium income. I'll show you an example of how, or not the example, but what the application looks like online. So here's our application. We're asking that one be submitted per child, one per child or adult, because we'll get into our reduced swim lessons. You'll be able to select the program that you are wanting assistance for. You'll input their name, age, birth date. All of this information is encrypted, so it will not have the ability to be shared, or their personal information will not be shared with anyone but staff that is reviewing this information, their residential address. From there, they'll be able to select their eligibility criteria that they believe they fall under. Then they'll be able to easily upload their two proofs. So one is the proof of eligibility, whether they're on any type of government assistance, Section 8 voucher, proof of their income, and then also this is where they can upload their residency status with their water bill or the enrollment school ID of the youth. And then here, this is where they're certifying, that this information is true. They understand that if awarded, it's non-transferable and cannot be exchanged or replaced for other programs or individuals. Doesn't mean like if you lose the card, we're not gonna like you get no more card. We'll replace your card for you. And it also acknowledges that the applications are reviewed on a first come, first served basis, contingent upon the available funding that we have. Super easy. They sign, date, and then submit. And then this is just the application is done through JotForm, which other cities that I have researched that offer a similar application for this with similar funding, they all recommend a JotForm because it's super user friendly. And it's also super easy for the staff to keep track of what applications come in. They date and timestamp them. And it's easy to keep track and keep organized for all of this. So they understand that that the electronic signature is valid as a handwritten signature and considered original and applicable by law. Then they'll sign it, and then they'll receive this thank you. This thank you window will pop up. It tells them that applications are reviewed daily, Monday through Friday, and then if approved, they will receive an email notification for next steps to come in and pick up their pass, or letting them know that they've been approved for their swim lesson. This is what the punch pass would look like. So we have a punch card. Again, there's those 14 on there. Just because there's 14 on the card, if they were to come in during our 4th of July party or the other free events, they don't have to use that card. So they will have a multitude of time to pick, the dates to come in. We also will have, a number assigning for each assigned punch card. And we also put on there that anyone under the age of 14 knows that they have to enter with an adult. An adult does have to stay present with them. Once they're 15, mommy and dad don't have to stay with them. So that's just a policy that we have at our facility, and it helps with water safe activities. And then moving forward into the reduced cost Learn to Swim program. Again, we receive funding yearly for our Learn to Swim program, but now it's actually setting up parameters. These grant guidelines and these grants that we receive are very lenient in how they let us execute in giving them out. They're just like, you already have proved that you need reduced cost swim lessons. So now it's up to you how you want to give them out. So the application and eligibility are the same as the previous free summer admission program. All approved applicants will receive a partial scholarship towards the registered program. We've noticed that in the past, before I was supervisor, lessons were once offered completely free, but then we noticed a decline in our attendance because there was no buy-in to the program. There was no way to tie them back and really make sure that they attend these lessons. Like, yeah, it's great, but we also want the people to know that when they're registering for this, like, we want you to come to these classes. We don't want your money. We want you to come to these classes and learn, so that way you can not become a part of the statistics with drowning. And so we have 2 funding sources. The LA 84 Foundation, this year we're able to get 300 scholarships available for youth 7 to 17, and that's the only criteria that the LA 84 Foundation gives us. For the American Red Cross Centennial Campaign, we have 200 scholarships for all ages. We go as young as 6 months all the way to adult. Last year, we had a really awesome, successful story. Our oldest adult in our adult swim lessons was 78 years old. It was grandpa that was bringing his grandkids to the pool. He didn't know how to swim. He enrolled himself in lessons, and now he's fully able to swim and enjoy the pool with his grandkids.
Aww.
And so that's been a big accomplishment as well. And so we have scholarships available for adults, swim lessons for adults, because you're never too young and you're never too old to learn how to swim. We have 20 scholarships available for our junior lifeguard camp, and then 20 as well for our summer swim team. Because once you pass all of our levels in our Learn to Swim program, we try to push them as much as we can to then go into the competitive side of swimming. So that way it just introduces, the team aspect and the competitive spirit, and then it really helps with the feeder program for our high schools. And I want to give a little shout out to our Central boys high school team. I'm a part of the coaching staff. They've been 5-year IVL champs in a row. So those kids also, I had to put a little plug in there. Those kids are participating in these programs. They're doing those summer rec teams to keep up their competitiveness throughout the school year as well. So I think that's really awesome to see. And then with these fees, like I said, they'll receive a partial scholarship. So for swim lessons, the scholarship covers $35 of the $45, so the participant's only paying $10. A participant can receive a minimum of 1, but a max of 2 scholarships for our Learn to Swim program if they fall under the criteria. So if we have a child between the ages of 7 and 17, they'll be able to get one through the LA 84 Foundation and then another one through the Red Cross Centennial Campaign. I am unfortunately unable to duplicate those scholarships, so it's 1 and 1 per child or per participant. For the junior lifeguard camp, they'll be able, the scholarship funds $75 of the 150. So that leaves the remaining 75, and same for the swim team as well. And again, just a little plug, for our summer programming. Our first session, or our first round of programming opens up to El Centro residents on Monday, the 26th at 7 a.m. And then to non-residents on Wednesday, the 28th at 7 a.m. Everything is on the summer brochure. I think aquatics takes up like half of the brochure of that 44 pages. I mean, again, that's programming that is input from our patrons and the users. That's programming that our lifeguards are excited to, and our instructors are excited to be a part of. I'm really excited for this summer. We have a large staff. We have a green staff. We have a very green staff this year. But I'm so excited for the maturity level that we have, the confidence that these young adults have in their abilities to be lifeguards. And they know that they're there to serve, protect, and prevent. That's what they're there for. And they're not the only line of defense that we use. Parents are also there. We have life jackets that are free to the public for anyone that's needing them. We highly recommend you use our life jackets and, not the plastic floaties. We provide our own floaties and inner tubes for the lazy river and for the movie nights. So everything that we do, again, it's for the benefit of the community and not just El Centro residents. So, these lifeguards are really putting in the work. Everyone from top to bottom is really passionate about aquatics, and you have to be. Aquatics is a beast of its own, and only crazy people are a part of it and willing to work there, really hard at it. And so this is something that the facility and this programming is something I've seen since its infancy, and it's something I am very proud to be a part of, and continue to prove my legacy amongst the aquatics profession and amongst the state of California in that. So again, we recommend that you adopt both resolutions, both for our summer free admission and then for our Learn to Swim program as well. I'm open to any questions or comments, or I know we do have a quite new council from the opening of this facility, so let me know.
I want to say thank you, and I commend you and your staff for all of their hard work, their dedication. And my heart's I'm just crying inside because a couple of months ago, when I spoke to Mr. Pottermore about free programs for swimming for the kids, and just to see that it's coming to pass, I'm just like, whoa, this is something so awesome, because you just don't know kids struggle. Sure. They walk around with a smile, they act like they have it all together, but when they see other kids that are being able to go to the swimming, to the aquatic center and utilizing all of the amazing stuff that is there, they want that opportunity too. Yeah. So I really thank you for opening your hearts and your minds, and I appreciate you. And I appreciate you bringing this to the staff for me and just getting it moving. Thank you. Appreciate that. Anybody else?
Yeah, I was just, gosh, I'm speechless, Rebecca. It's just it's just that during my tenure on the council, I've just seen you grow and grow and grow. And I'm so proud of you, and I'm so proud of all of your staff. And, you're just as big of a go-getter as Adriana is, It's just and I'm just in awe of you.
Thank you.
I don't know how you find time for everything and your baby, it's just so.
I knew what I was getting into.
Yeah, but it's just, wow.
Thank you.
Wow, I know. I'm still at wow too. Anybody else comments? Say thank you.
I will tell you that 2 of my children were junior lifeguards and lifeguards. And then I've had several grandchildren compete there. And it wasn't until we went to the Kiwanis that I actually went inside. I was super impressed with the staff and the facility as a whole. And again, it is just due to where we live. I mean, it is well serving our public. So it's money well spent. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I just want to also say that shamefully, it was my first time going into the aquatic center as well. When I went in, I actually went in for the extravaganza event. And I was just amazed at, I drive by it all the time, but had never gone in, and to just see that whole different world inside.
Yeah, you walk in,
It's a
you're
whole different
escaped from El
world.
Centro.
It is. And, I couldn't get my granddaughter out. She was having a fit. I was almost let her go in the lazy river and try to escape. But it was just so heartwarming to see the kids so happy playing there. And your staff, Angel, he was amazing.
Yes.
And I just want to give a shout out to him, to you, all your staff, but he was very helpful and with questions and so forth. And I'm sure that the rest of your staff does so with everyone else. So you're doing a great work there. And I'm
Thank
glad
you.
to hear that we're hosting that event, the one that's the first time we're hosting.
Yeah.
And hopefully won't be the last. And just to continue doing the great work that you guys do, because it brings a lot of joy to people. I saw it myself.
Yeah, I mean, just the photo alone I brought back, to
Yeah.
this slide. That's the photo from our floating Easter egg hunt and releasing the hounds into the water. And who would have thought getting eggs, out of the pool? But, that day was more attended, better than we thought, and better than what I had thought as well. So it was shocking. This was the second year that we've done it, and something that's become a crowd favorite. And and we'll keep continuing. We have, as long as we have your support. I have the best director in the county.
Yes.
I'm in the city, and it's putting our residents first and putting this youth, because we know that lifelong, these skills that they learn, it's not only helping them now, but it's helping them shape the person that they're going to be. And just having that community buy-in as well to the facility is something great, and something that I'll keep working hard at, as long as I'm here. Which I don't think I'm going anywhere. I'm loyal to a
That's
fault.
right.
So
No, we
I don't think we'll let
appreciate
you.
Thank you. I know.
Yes.
We're gonna tie you down, huh?
yeah.
Thank
Becky,
you.
great presentation.
Oh,
Thank you for all that you're doing, all this incredible program and looking for funding. That's really great. How long have you been with the city?
I've been with the city since September of 2019. So I'm going on my 6th year.
Wow.
Yeah, straight out of college.
Wow.
Yes. And how old were you?
I was 23.
23. Yeah. Well, yeah. Okay. That's a better
I started
question.
as a part-time lifeguard when
Thank
we
you.
rented we would utilize the Central High School pool in the
Right.
summer.
How long ago was that?
I was a junior in high school. And I always told myself, I was like, if I ever become that 30-year-old lifeguard, I'm doing something wrong. But here I am at the ripe age of 29.
You're
doing
great.
it all.
Great.
So-
Okay. See, great example.
Much more.
Yes.
I have that and much more again.
Yeah, great example,
Always been a
great
fish.
story. And so great person to lead this. We're very thankful you're like grown up here and doing this. You're doing so well.
Thank you.
Yes, thank
We're
you.
very proud of you.
And with that being said, colleagues, we want to, I need a first and a second to adopt resolution number 25-30 and to adopt resolution number 25-31.
So I would like to motion, do we do both of them at once or one individual?
Yes, both at the same time.
Yes.
Oh, okay, so I would like to motion to approve.
I'll second.
Okay, motion passes 5-0.
Yay.
Thank you, thank you,
Thank you, Becky.
Also in honor of Public Works Week, huge shout out to Abraham and the engineering team that also built this facility. They did a great job. There's always things with new facilities, but also just kudos to them on this great feat. We're able to do this because people like him work hard on building these facilities.
Yes.
Please join me in applauding them. Thank you, thank you. Appreciate that. Now we're going to move on to the discussion of any necessary actions regarding the city council assignment and a committee appointment. This presentation is by myself. I do want to add, before I ask for us to approve this, that we did add to our committees this year the 2-on-2 with the county. We will have that. And to our downtown ad hoc committee, we added the continuum of care for the homeless service. So we're growing and we're worried about the community, and we're pushing forward for everybody. So with that being said, do we have any discussions? No? If,
I just want to clarify because I have the one list attached to the actual appointment here, but it was replaced. Is that correct?
yes. The new one was placed out here for us.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
Yes.
I'll motion to approve the new listing.
Okay, the new
If you,
list.
for the
Second.
record, the footer provided by the city clerk and the new one is 5/20/2025. Just to be clear that that's the one you have. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt your motion.
Okay, thank you. So we have a first by Councilmember Camarena. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
May I make a clarification, please? I believe the old one and the new one have the same date.
It's the one that was placed at
That
your,
place, that's not
at your-
attached to the.
correct.
Okay,
Yes,
so
yes.
The
That's
one
what
from the
I'm-
agenda was removed.
Okay, that's the
Okay.
one I'm moving to approve.
Thank you for that clarification.
Mayor Pro Tem, we're waiting for your vote. Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you. And item number 11, Madam City Clerk.
Yes, we're pulling that item and deferring it to the June 3rd meeting. It's coming back for that meeting.
Thank you. Thank you. Now legislative action. It's a letter of support to the SB 496 and Advanced Clean Fleets presented by Abraham Campos, Public Works Director, City Engineer.
I appreciate, I think actually our city manager, interim city manager did a great job in the agenda, so thank you for that. And so this is a letter of support for the SB 496 by Hurtado. It discusses the clean fleet implementation. Clean fleet legislation is a regulation that is requiring most heavy-duty equipment, trucks, F-250s and above, basically, or Silverados, 2500 and above, to be transitioned into electric vehicles. There's police and fire are exempted, but our public works vehicles or yellow light vehicles are not. What this new regulation would provide is for the better transition of a schedule for that to take effect. And it adds an exemption from public works vehicles in emergencies, for example, earthquakes, fires. Public works vehicles need to be out there to clear debris, to provide traffic control, etc. And however, right now, as it is being proposed, is requiring that these vehicles, the current legislation, it requires that these vehicles be electrified. What this SB 496 provides an exemption for that, and as well as provides an appeal board. Should we request an exemption to the state, we would have an appeal process, which it currently doesn't exist. So for that, we're strongly pushing for your support to issue this letter supporting SB 496. Fair thought. I'll take any questions that you may.
Thank you. Colleagues, do you have any questions? No. We'll wait a minute for Councilmember Marroquin to come back so we can go vote, please.
In the meantime, Abram, maybe Madam Mayor, do you think the League of Cities is also signing on to this as well?
It's a support item for the league.
Yes, okay. In other words, it's really helping, it's lobbying Sacramento to like back off the dramatic requirements for green energy for cities and to be able to comply a little easier.
Yes, although we always support environmental goals, this specific regulation requires or mandates us to purchase vehicles that are not in existence in the market. So this allows us to keep serving our community in a safe manner by using existing technology to be able to service during emergency requirements.
Yeah, there was a conference call last week regarding that, and the league actually, yes, they did support it. And then again, last night, I believe they came out and supported it as well.
Thank you.
You think I could get some city stickers for my F-350?
Yeah.
Doesn't hurt to ask.
Yeah. And that's the issue, right? So we have equipment like F-350s, F-250s. Parks have the same issues, the same vehicles out there for hauling. And the nearest thing is an F-150 Lightning, right? And it's not the same. It doesn't provide that. It's more electric for passengers and for other fleets works. But there's a lot of companies that are new into the market. And then they fall out of the market really quickly, and that's happening as the whole industry is settling down in terms of electrification, and we need to have equipment that lasts for decades to come in many ways. So we need to have companies that will support this vehicle for the long term, and those are not yet readily available.
Thank you, thank you. At this time, they're asking for the approval to submit a letter. Can we get a motion in a second?
I move that we pass the recommendation, accept the recommendation.
A second.
Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you. Now we will move on to the task force reports. We will start, I'll go in the same order. Councilmember Matakin.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry. Yeah, I know. Busy weeks, huh?
Yes. So graduation season has started, and I'm so proud of my niece. She graduated from the first cohort of the SDSU nursing program. So she had her pinning ceremony and graduation ceremony, back to back here. Was in attendance at the groundbreaking for the new school, which is actually an Imperial, but it's El Centro School District.
Yeah.
Let me see. Oh my gosh, we had the Friends of El Centro Community Services Foundation meeting. We're planning the second annual cornhole tournament in July. And so we'll have more information about that as well. And then we were at ECRMC for the Hospital Week proclamation. Let's see. And oh my gosh, Finance Committee meeting, got great updates on where we are with Measure P in terms of, what we've got planned and what we have in reserves there. And let's see, Special Homeless Task Force meeting. And then that evening, we were at the Aquatic Center for the Kentucky Derby, and that's where the Kiwanis Club presented that the scholarship funding that we're going to be using for the kids this summer. So it's like it's that event is so cute, just like the floating Easter egg hunt. So that's really it's a lot of fun. So and that concludes my report. So.
Councilmember Crankshaw.
Yeah, well, I didn't get to go as much as I'd like to, but I was able to attend the Los Vigilantes fundraiser dinner that they had. That was a really neat event, as it always is, and get to catch up with a lot of people networking. Over this period, I got to meet with some more staff, and there's more staff I'd like to meet with, just to learn a little bit and appreciate your time. I attended the swearing in for our new ACO, Katie Webb. I tried to make all the swearing ins. It's important, it really, for as many of us to show up as we can. I mean, not just council, but people from staff. It really kind of sets the tone for our new employees, and it's really be it in any department. I think it's important. So we had our special meeting last week, and then I also attended the Kiwanis Kentucky Derby, and I was fortunate enough to have number 43.
Yeah,
Number
number
one.
one.
He won.
And I would have, and just so you know, Adriana, that the Kiwanis should be 3,300 because I was able to donate some back, but I had two grandchildren that were holding onto that number really tight. So when we won, I had to kind of split the difference a little bit, but it was a great event. I really see how that place is just pretty magic for a lot of people. So great job over there. And that was pretty much my week.
Councilmember Camarena?
Okay, well, it's a ditto on mostly
Yes.
everything that we've just been everywhere. But I did want to touch a little bit. I've been getting some calls and so forth from some of the individuals that constituents, I should say, that want to know, where are you at with this? Where are you at with that? And had a good talk this afternoon with City Manager Baramo, and we discussed one of the issues that I've been really concerned about. And for me, I like to be proactive when it comes to budgets and so forth like that, anticipate what we need to, and try to move the city forward and protect it at the same time. I know that we've had some instances, where most of, Mr. Crankshaw just came in, council member, and so did Marty and I, but we're very blessed to see the way that these department heads work. The knowledge that's here and so forth, when there's crisis that happens, I've seen it firsthand where they do act like a family and they stand up with each other and work together to do that. There's no doubt in my mind that we have probably the most competent people that I've seen pull the city forward, because this city is running 24/7 while we take advantage of the facilities we have, the protection we have, everything from water to police. And it's important, recreation for them, like we spoke about earlier, the mental and physical well-being of our residents. And I think for me, right now, they're in the prime of budget, putting budgets together, requesting money and so forth like that. And it's important for us to also be very budget-minded and proactive. And one of the things that worries me, as I say, and Liz left, but Liz and Miguel and Andy have had a very difficult job, not just with the budget, but being able to catch us up. Because I know that not a lot of people are aware, but we've had some audits in this city that weren't turned in timely. And those type of things that happen, I don't know how or why I just got here. But those, we had the 22-23 audit that was due January 24th. And because of the hard work of Liz and Miguel and them, and Andy and the department heads, we were able to get that in. I think that came in April. And then the 23-24 year, the city is on task, right, Daniel?
Correct.
To be able to turn that in, hopefully in June. That's our
That's
target.
the target date is the
Target
fiscal year,
date.
in the fiscal year.
And that could have been disastrous for this city. Like I say, I don't know why that happened. I don't know who the mayor was or city manager during those times, but we could have lost our credit rating. We could have lost our bond. I'm sorry, I always say credit. It could have affected our bonds. It could have affected our grants that we get in this city. And I think it's important that for us to have an audit, I think the county is going through something similar like this. We need to make sure that that communication line is open, that we protect this city, protect loans, that come in, bonds and ratings and so forth. But I really want to commend the staff for making it happen, because it could have been very disastrous for us. Going forward, I'm the type of person that I think when we look at our budgets, it's important to be able to have, obviously the COLAs, we're right now looking at the pay raises and so forth. Those type of things should be included in budgets in the beginning and not looked at towards the end. And they're like, well, how can you do that? These are the people that are keeping the city going. And we need to make sure that they have a wage that's livable. And when we have cost of living's going up, the rates like crazy. We were just in Sacramento last week and I was looking at their housing market. Believe it or not, the housing market over there was like here. And I'm like, the wage of it's higher over there, compared to our living wages here. But yet the housing market was compatible and it worried me because I'm like, how are our residents, how are our employees being able to sustain this? And so I want to, again, kudos to the staff that saved our city from something that could have been very much worse. And there she's gone, Liz, Miguel, Andy, and all of you, because all of you came together and did it. And I just pray that as a council going forward, that this would not happen again, that we would have the oversight to be able to know exactly where these things, why these things happened, and be able to move forward for the betterment of our employees and residents and the protection of all that we're tasked to do here as department heads and as a council. Thank you.
Mayor Pro Tem.
Yes,
Abbott.
I'd also like to give a shout out to Liz and her crew that have been working tirelessly to catch us up our financials so we can keep our good rating and stay in competition for grants. That's very crucial. But back in May 7th on Wednesday, myself and Sonia got to go to Kidistenics, and it's over by the no, it's next door to the bowling alley. And the building is owned by Jeffrey Chan. He has the school there for LVNs, Honor Health. He also owns a home health business at the end of that and employs many of his nurses, the LVNs. But this is an indoor activity area for special needs kids. And there's only a few of them around Southern California. And this is the only one that is indoors. That place was full of kids, full of activities, and a lot of trainers that know how to deal with these kids and they were doing a great job. We were so impressed and feel so fortunate to be able to have this here in our community. So I kept asking a lot of questions. The way to get in is San Diego Regional Center. You get a diagnosis and you get something on your IEP is activities, and you're in. And it's so great to have a place and get the caregivers to get some respite, right, and have their kids have fun. It was very impressive. May the 9th, the Robert Rosas Elementary School, Memorial Elementary School, and again, in Imperial, that is actually the groundbreaking for that, and is actually in Imperial, but it's El Centro School. So that was a big deal to be able to go to, and there's a lot of building that is anticipated there. I attended the Citizens Advisory Committee for Centinela also, May 13th. And just a quick note that the prisoners work there and their funds go for something to buy for their kids. Traditionally, it's been bicycles at Christmas time and something like that. Really having a really hard time to find bicycles, like it's not like it used to be. And so a couple of committee members were able to talk to some prisoners, get some representation, and they suggested shoes. They were very happy with shoes. So now probably about 100 kids will be able to get free shoes at Skechers just before school starts in August. And it's looking like to be a really good program. You know, a lot of kids get backpacks. These kids are going to get new shoes, and they're like, these are disadvantaged kids, so it's going to be something very special for them. Very proud of that, that coming together. Then, oh, okay. So Mike touched on this, the swearing in of Katie Webb, I think he called her the AOC. So for those of you that don't talk cop, it's animal control officer. Okay, I want to say. ACO, thank you. I want to say this is a big win. This girl came from like the San Diego area to come here. And I know there's other circumstances, but she wanted to come here, work for El Centro. Thank you. So now we have two of them, and they're both going to be, from what I understand, very big. They have a lot of responsibility. So that's another big win for El Centro, right? And then, this last, this, I believe it was a week ago, was the National Hospital / Nurses Recognition. And we did a presentation there with the hospital. The next day, Tuesday, was a hot wings eating contest that I got to MC and had a lot of fun. A friend of mine won, and he ate, anyway, it was great. It was great fun. I'm so proud of the people working there and all that they've been through and hanging in there and being able to work together. I was just very proud to be there amongst them as well, and see some friends as well. That was really terrific. Then, we went to Calexico the 16th for an outreach training, training with Boost program to, public outreach. We need to learn marketing ourselves really well. That's what we need to do, and outreach to our citizens. That was very helpful. But Claudia and myself had an audience with Steve Padilla that same day, talking about issues that are local as well as statewide, and what we're looking at and how we can work together to hopefully achieve some good goals. So that was an important contact as well. Then I think that's it. I'll leave. This meeting we went to last night, League of Cities in Indio. Jeff Gonzalez lives in Indio. He has a 34-year-old disabled child staying at home, but because he was this was his town, his wife was able to come. We were able to meet his wife. She's a wonderful woman, and the hero of the family, taking care of this child. And so I think that Jeff did a really good job about all that he's doing in Sacramento. All partisanship aside, he's on the problem-solving task force. And so he's involved in so many bills and trying to work with as many cities as he can, group us together, regionalize, and work together for the things that are affecting one city's problems is another city's problems. It's California problems. And, with the budget the way it is with California, they're not going to be able to solve a lot of these problems. So we as cities really have to work together. I'm very proud of Jeff, what he's doing, trying to really work on issues that are really concern us right here, like homeless and all these other things that we have to deal with. Very proud of him for doing that. So that was really great. Just one other thing I'd like to add to Claudia's comments is that we're not designed, our government is not designed as a democracy. That's mob rule. That's one of the worst choices for a government. We are a form of democracy, a democratic republic where we elect leaders and they're civilians. They're not the experts. So as time goes on, you oftentimes get lifelong political experts, that run things, but that often turns in, that's why you have term limits, because that often turns out in a bad way. And so, the people on this board, we are not the experts. We're the elected civilians representing our city. And we're looking forward to, sharing goals and futures with our staff, the professionals, and working with them going forward in our city. please be patient with us and help us to catch up with all that's going on. But we're not the professionals you guys are, and we want to work together. So thank you for all that you do. We really, really, really appreciate you. Thank you. By the way, so just because we are sorry, Madam Mayor, just because we're a constitutional republic, I'm sorry, republic, yeah, constitutional republic, that it takes longer. Business just takes longer. It's bulky, it's slow, and it's supposed to be that way. And so I know we get impatient. I know you get impatient. So we have to bear with each other. So thank you.
May I clarify something real quick? I don't know if I even I gave my speech, but I wanted to say that where I was going, where I had people contacting me was because, they want to see about increased revenue. How are we doing that, and so forth. And one of the things, I know there's a lot coming down the road, with IVHD and so forth like that. But one of the things initially that we spoke of was just to be able to look at the TOT, oh my gosh, I went blank, occupancy tax that's paid for by individuals that come and utilize our hotels and so forth. And to be able to get that money, that would be a way for us to be able to increase revenue. Without having us to pay for it, because it's basically paid by individuals coming into the valley and they pay for it. And that's what I think is important. The less that we can get out there that comes out of our pocket, the better, because people are struggling out there right now. So it's just something I want to transient occupancy tax, I think is what it's called, and be able to just have to look at that. And that's what I'm being contacted about, because it was something that I had spoken of before election. So that's where my whole speech went to. Thank you.
Well, thank you, colleagues. Thank you. Thank you. I echo all of them. I attended all this. Plus, I mean, I get to work, and then my colleagues at work, they always ask me, we follow you on Facebook. You're everywhere, and you work a day job. Do you sleep? I said, do you want an honest answer? And I have a grandbaby that I just love to spend time with at night. So I said, do you want an honest answer? So, I mean, it's just, I enjoy going to all the events and spending time with the community and getting out there. And I won't bore you with all the same things, but I did attend them. So I'm just going to move on to the mayor's mentions. Just a reminder, like Abraham said, the Public Work Expo is tomorrow and at the El Centro Library from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And then we have the Memorial Day Remembrance coming up. You're invited to join us for this ceremony at 10 a.m. on Monday at the Veterans Park in Buckland Park. Together, we will honor and remember the brave men and women of our military who gave their lives in service to our country. So make sure you come out and support us on Monday at 10 a.m. Then we started our downtown survey. I'm excited to announce that we're officially unveiled our downtown survey. This is your opportunity to voice your opinion and help shape the future of our downtown area. Whether you have ideas, concerns, or suggestions, this is the time to share them. Your feedback will help guide the city's efforts to improve the revitalization downtown El Centro in a way that reflects our community needs and vision. The survey is open through June 4th, and it's available on our website or through our main social media site. And it's very important, to the community. This is your chance to be heard. So please, please, please go ahead and submit the survey, and we will be closing that on June 4th. So please make sure you get that done. Now I will yield to our interim city manager, Mr. Danny Paramo.
Thank you. So yeah, ditto on most of the meetings that I attended as well and events. Not as many as all of you, but working on some other issues as well. I think Adriana is also working on the agreement with IVC, as I mentioned earlier. Rebecca did, so we're going to continue with that. And then we did have our Mayor Carter, sign a letter that will ratify at another meeting, but this letter will be sent out to our legislative representatives in support of trying to keep Spreckles, the sugar plant, open. So she signed that this evening, so that'll be going out first thing tomorrow.
Yes.
Thank you. Yes. Yes, thank you, thank you. That's why you're just awesome, because you reminded us of these things. The ice cream social is changed to Friday, May 30th, same time, same location, 6 to 9 p.m. And come on out, enjoy some ice cream, I'm sure it's gonna be hot that day. It wasn't our fault that Mother Nature took its course and gave us a windy Saturday and we had to reschedule. So we do apologize, but come on out. And also, I'm the CEO of Changemakers, and this is a program that we have for our youth. We do different events so that way we can raise money to take our youth to places that they only dream about. So we're doing our 3-on-3 basketball tournament at the community center on Saturday, May 31st. The money that we raise from this event and another event that we're going to give at the end of the year, we will be taking our youth to Disneyland. They said that the only thing they can do is just dream about it. So we want to make dreams come true for our youth. So this is something that we really push. So please come out and support at the community center on May 31st. We will start at about 5 p.m. Coming out and support, and we have vendors out there, and just come out and have a good time with us. Thank you. And with that being said, it is 8:34 and this meeting is adjourned.